Hey guys, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel, The Organized Soprano. If you're new here, hello! My name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer and singer here in the Boston area, and I'm here to inspire you to live a more organized life. If you've seen my channel before, you have seen my kitchen and you've probably seen my pantry, but I'm gonna give you an updated tour of my pantry today and a tour of my pantry staples, things I shop for every week and can't live without. Before I start the tour, I just want to talk briefly about what our diet is like in this household. We don't have any kids. My husband and I live together here in this condo with our dog Clover. And we, over the last few years, have transitioned from eating sort of badly to eating what I think is eating well. I have had a battle with IBS for about 10 years, and I noticed that eliminating fried foods helps me feel better, and eating less processed foods helps me feel better, and also I can't really have milk, but I can have some dairy, like some cheeses, and yogurt is okay, but I definitely can't have ice cream and definitely can't have milk. We are omnivores in this house. We do eat meat, both meat and vegetables, but we eat mostly vegetables and not a lot of meat. So we're vegetarian probably like 5 or 6 days out of the week, and then one day a week or like maybe twice we'll have some meat in there. I did have a disordered relationship with food for a long time. I had a bad bout with norovirus in 2012, and it only lasted about 7 or 8 hours, but I was very traumatized by the experience. I have what's referred to as emetophobia, which is the fear of getting sick. And I had to go to therapy for a few months because I just basically lost my appetite and stopped eating. I got down to a very dangerous weight for my height. I think I got down to like 83 pounds. I developed a really disordered relationship with food and eating, and I just didn't want to have anything to do with food after that. So I've found that the more I handle my own food and prepare my own meals in my house, the better I feel about eating. It is really hard for me to live with, but it's something I live with. And having whole foods in my house, having healthy foods in my house, helps me feel a little bit better about what I'm putting in my person. I am also getting older, so I find that if I just keep fueling my body with healthier foods, then I feel a little bit better. Not that I don't eat sweets from time to time, not that I don't eat like potato chips from time to time, but I feel like if I'm going to eat potato chips, that I should make my own potato chips so that at least I know what's in them, how much salt I'm gonna put on there, and it takes a little bit more effort. I found that doing these things makes me appreciate food more. If you're interested in a book that really changed my life and are interested in reading it, it is called In Defense of Food. This is a very famous book, so if you haven't heard of it, go read it. It's by Michael Pollan, and it's really about our America's sort of relationship with food and how it's changed since the 50s. So I would go and read this. It's really good. It's not a super long book, but it says right on the outside something that I definitely believe in. It says, eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. So that's basically what we do here in this household. So now let's look at my pantry staples and see what we have to have all the time. Our pantry is the same as it's been for the last few years, but it is a lot neater and a lot more organized. So let's take a look at what I've got in there. The first thing I've got to tell you guys about is the spaghetti squash and the very brown bananas. I have to make some banana bread soon, but I always love to keep those things. Clover loves bananas too. And in the bread box, we just have some old taco shells and some crackers. It's not very exciting. Hardly any bread. No bread. The first thing I always have to have in my pantry is coconut milk. Coconut milk is so delicious and great for making curries and Asian style dishes. Black beans are another staple I like to have in my pantry. I like to have at least 2 of these 14-ounce cans, or these 15-ounce cans? 15-ounce cans, just because they're great for making soup and great for putting in like Tex-Mex style dishes. I also love to have just 1 can of refried beans just in case I'm feeling naughty and want to have nachos or something, or put these in burritos. They are so good. Not that great for you, but good. And pinto beans just in case I want to make burritos or a burrito bowl. These come in super handy. I usually just keep 1 can of pintos and 1 can of refried beans, but I always have also just 1 can of black-eyed peas just because of my southern roots. Hoppin' John, that's all I gotta say about that. I also have to keep garbanzo beans. I usually keep 2 or 3 cans of these because they're great for making homemade hummus, as well as putting in dishes, making falafel patties. They're a great meat substitute because they're so meaty and umami tasting. The same thing with kidney beans. When I make chili, which I make often, I usually will choose kidney beans over any other kind of bean, and they just are so great for getting that protein in. It's a level 1 emergency if I do not have cannellini beans. These are pretty much my favorite things to put in soups, to mash them up, put a little Parmesan cheese in them. They're a great side. They just are awesome. They're also great with like kale for some reason. I don't know why, but cannellini beans, always have to have them. And I always have to have 2 cans of diced tomatoes. This is the Whole Foods house brand. I find that it's like just the right amount. And I also love to keep around a can of tomato sauce. This 8-ounce can I found is the perfect size for my husband and I for making a dish together. It always seems to be 8 ounces of tomato sauce is just enough, so I always keep at least 1 or 2 of these cans around. This step shelving system from Made Smart is one I've been using for years, and it's been really helpful to keep things from being in the back and help me see exactly what I've got in my pantry. So if you're interested in purchasing it, I will link it down below. You can get it from Amazon. It's awesome. And for some reason, I keep my canned fishes separated from my canned vegetables, but I always have to have 2 cans of tuna, at least a can of salmon, and you saw there was some canned trout there as well. That's really good on salad. And we also keep this little thing of condiments in there from restaurants. I'm not a perfect person. I go to McDonald's occasionally for the fries, okay? They are good. In terms of dry goods, we keep those in the pantry as well. In these really cool slim containers, we've got all kinds of different rice. We've got short grain brown. We've got jasmine rice, basmati rice. We've got white rice, pilaf, and panko. What is that doing there? I don't know why I have panko there with all the rice and grains, but it just seems to work next to the farro too. And we've just got some breakfast bars. Those are my husband's, okay. We've got the rest of my grains there. We always have to have farina, oats, and the farro, just in case you're interested, is a grain that's similar to barley. It's really great for making like savory dishes, and it's got a really nice chewy texture to it. And I keep the instructions about how to cook it on the bottom there so that I don't forget. And it is best used by this month, so cook with me video farro coming soon to the channel. The top shelf of the pantry is just home for things that we don't use very much, and backup things of things I either bought too much of or they're just random. So we don't eat very much pasta in the house or noodles, so we have 3 little things of noodles. We've got some rice noodles for stir fry, some elbow macaroni, and some shells. I don't even know where those came from. I think my husband bought them. And we also have our backup salt and pepper. We go through a lot of kosher salt and pepper actually, but the thing we go through the most is crushed red pepper, because in order to make food really delicious, we like to make it a little bit hot. So we love a good heat in this house, so red pepper is a must. In this basket, I keep backup of things that I either bought in bulk or that don't fit in the container I decanted them in. So that's where those live. And to the right of it, we have some just random stuff. There's some maple syrup that we were given from Canada's backup, baking soda, and underneath we just got some crackers and popcorn. Not very exciting, but that is basically what our pantry is like, and those are things we have to have in our pantry all the time. Every now and again we add something different, but these are things that we have to have all the time that make our week awesome so that we can cook pretty much anything and have a nice healthy week. As far as oils can go, this is our oil collection that we use for cooking and seasoning. We keep it on this Lazy Susan, and it's really great because, again, nothing's in the back. Of course, we've got our old staple olive oil. We love her. We use her a lot, go through a lot, but I also have a bunch of others. So my second favorite oil to use when I'm cooking Asian-style dishes is toasted sesame oil. If you have never cooked with toasted sesame oil, oh my goodness, give it a try. It smells so beautiful and gives an amazing flavor to Asian style dishes, stir fries, whatever you're cooking. It's so good. So go ahead and try it. This is from Whole Foods, but if you have an Asian market near you, go for it. Something we've started cooking with recently is avocado oil, and it's great because it's an oil that can tolerate a higher heat, so we can sear meat with it, and it doesn't have much of a flavor, so it's kind of a neutral tasting oil. Really great. Love it. Definitely try it. This is the Primal Kitchen brand, and we also have some chili oil in there. That's really a condiment. It shouldn't even be in there, but like, it's an oil, so I put it in there. I know where it is. Not everything makes sense, but it's very good. And the next oil I cook with is canola oil. I don't use this very much. I mostly use it for baking in terms of things that take the place of butter sometimes. I don't know, it's very mild. The next oil that's in there is coconut oil. We actually don't use this very much anymore to cook with, but I use this on my skin, hair, and on Clover's paws sometimes. So, but we don't cook with it a lot because I've heard some bad things about it lately, but whatever, it's in there. We also use a lot of vinegars. The first one is brown rice vinegar. This is really nice. It can take the place of mirin or white rice vinegar. And the next one we have in there is balsamic vinegar, because that is amazing, because we make a lot of our own salad dressings, and balsamic vinegar is one of the main salad dressings we make with vinegar and oil. And the next one we have is red wine vinegar. We also make salad dressing with that a lot as well, and it's got some residue in the bottle, but I swear it's still good. It just collects like that, but it's really nice for making beautiful oil and vinegar salad dressings. I love having a variety of oils and vinegars to choose from. It makes cooking healthy a lot easier. But we have our other basics, our flours, cornstarch, baking items, baking powder and stuff, and then sugar and baking soda and more vinegar. And yes, I have chemical formulas on there because I'm a nerd. In our fridge, we also have to have certain produce and certain items in order to sort of get through the week and not go crazy. We have a lot of produce because we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. We have to have strawberries. Clover likes them too. We also always have to have cucumbers because I have been eating them a lot, and I'll tell you about that later. I've also been cutting up celery before I cook it or eat it. It's wash it, of course. It's just easier that way. We always have to have cauliflower, yum. And these are actually 2 fresh herbs that we cook all the time. We have parsley and we have cilantro. And the best way to store them, I've found, is to put them in these weck jars with some water and to put a plastic bag over them. I know they make these herb keeper things, but I found that this is really the best way, and the herb keeper things sort of smush them a little bit, so it looks kind of messy in the fridge, but it's the best way. And we've got some mint there that looks kind of sad, but I've been using the mint and the cucumber to infuse my water because I don't like to drink water, but I've been infusing my water with cucumber and mint, and it's making the water taste a little better, so that's that. I always have to have my non-dairy creamers because I love my sweet coffee in the morning. It's a vice, I know. I just love it. So that's a staple I always have to have. We also always have to have bell peppers and carrots. The artichoke is there. I know he's kind of random. We only eat him maybe like once a month, but it's not a staple, so don't worry. But we always have to have lemons and jalapenos. There's something about having fresh squeezed lemon juice when you can have it, and some heat when you can have it. And if we don't have fresh squeeze, we do have lemon and lime juice. This is my favorite brand right now, Santa Cruz. They're a little bit expensive, but I feel like they're the best on the market right now. So that's what we use to spice up our dishes. And better than bouillon is one of my favorite things. Been using it for years. It is better than bouillon, basically. And this minced ginger from the Ginger People is the best next thing to fresh ginger. Cooking with fresh ginger is great, but it's very labor intensive. It's like the peeling and the grating, blah, blah, blah. This only has I think some sugar, some vinegar, and some salt in it to preserve it. So it's not much different than fresh ginger. It's so good. Oh. I cook with it all the time. I also use a bunch of Dijon mustard. Also, always have to have it. We go through a lot of this for making salad dressings and cooking. Always have to have olives for some reason. We love salt in this family. And we also love heat. So we always have to have hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, fish sauce. We always cook like Thai style dishes and like Asian style dishes. They need fish sauce. And we also have to have, of course, soy sauce or shoyu. Always have to have that. And as far as like the dairy drawer, of course, we always have to have eggs and we always have to have butter. I don't actually use a lot of butter. My husband is the butter king. But I usually like to keep some plain yogurt. Clover actually likes to eat a spoonful of this every now and again, but it's great for making tzatziki sauce. And I love to have some extra firm tofu around to make stir fries if I'm feeling inspired. Always have to have Parmesan and feta as well to make things. And in my sort of cool and dark area, I always love to keep potatoes. I like to keep some yellow potatoes, a sweet potato, and 2 like russet potatoes. And of course, garlic, always gotta have that. And 3 kinds of onions. I've got a shallot, a red onion, and a yellow onion, and 2 kinds of tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes and Roma tomatoes, because Roma tomatoes have the most flesh to water, so they're not as watery as regular tomatoes. And remember, store tomatoes stem side down for maximum freshness. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and inspired you to either go shopping today, prepare some food, or organize your pantry. If there is something that you cannot live without every week, let me know down in the comments below. What is a definite staple in your pantry that your family has to have each and every week? I hope you guys are having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. You thought I was gonna leave you that little Clover footage? You were wrong. Here it is. It's at the end of the video. For those of you who stayed this long, roll it.